Hi and welcome to my match preview. Arsenal taking on Manchester City this weekend, 4:30 p.m. kickoff on Sunday UK time. Pep Guardiola goes up against Mikel Arteta once again. Gabriel Magalhaes reignites his feud with Erling Haaland, and we've got a new one, Rodri going up against Zuber-Mendy. So let's get straight into it. Before I do that, please do me a favor, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It goes a long way in helping out my channel. Did you guys know that Manchester City have not beaten Arsenal since the Community Shield back in August 2023? That is how long Manchester City have not beaten Arsenal. Whereas back in the day, we used to get battered by Manchester City left, right and centre in the scorelines of 5-0, 4-1, you name it, we were getting battered. But that tide is over and the tide has turned. Since that time, Arsenal have had a couple of wins against Manchester City and also a couple of draws. As you guys know, obviously, this same fixture was played almost a year before, should I say, this time last year, around September 22nd of September last year, when Arsenal travelled over to the Etihad Stadium. And if you guys remember correctly, Arsenal was winning 2-1 leading up to half-time. And subsequently, Leandro Trossard got sent off in the 48th minute by Michael Oliver for apparently kicking the ball away. So which meant that Arsenal went into the halftime 2-1 up, one man down, and came out for the second half and pretty much played the whole 45 minutes in the second half with 10 men, to the point where we actually almost got the 3 points. And if you remember correctly, a corner came in, last minute corner, John Stones puts it in, and obviously Arsenal drew that game 2-2. And that's when we got the first feud, that feud between Haaland and Gabriel Magalhaes, where Haaland basically threw the ball at the back of Gabriel Magalhaes' head, and everyone thought, oh, here we go, got a needle in the game, you know, they don't mind it. We had a lot of pundits basically saying they don't mind that kind of thing going on in the game. But when it comes to Arsenal, let's be honest about it, everybody will be saying, they shouldn't be doing that, they've never won anything, how are they doing this kind of stuff? But it is what it is. Let's move. Now, this fixture is actually at the Emirates this time around, so let's basically look into it. As I said, the feud is going to be going on, Haaland versus Gabriel. You know, there's a lot of comparisons in regards to Rodri versus Zuber-Mendy, and also, again, Haaland versus Gyökeres. They're kind of like similar player, but don't get me wrong, Haaland is basically a better player, world-class striker. I can't obviously compare him to Gyökeres. But let's be honest, in terms of their playing style, they both want to score. They're both quite aggressive. They're quite both fast on the ball as well. And obviously, let's see how that goes. In terms of, obviously, match predictions, obviously, I'm going to be going for a Arsenal win in regards to this game. When we look at the personnel and the tactical analysis and what to look out for in this game, for me, basically, if we look at our squad, I basically think we've got a better squad right now when it comes to squad depth. For the first time in a long time, I do believe that Arsenal have a better squad depth than Manchester City going into this game. Because if you think about it, because we're still up in an R in regards to some of the injuries, obviously, that we've got currently at the moment, and in regards to the starting lineup, which I'll get into at a minute. But let's just say, for example, we've still got Bukayo Saka, right? We've still got, as of the time of this recording, Saliba, we're not sure if he's actually going to play. We don't know if Odegaard, Saka is going to feature. There's a question mark in regards to that, and also Ben White. But what we do know is Kai Havertz, for example, Gabriel Jesus, those type of players, they're not going to be featuring in this game. So what exactly and how are Arsenal actually going to line up for this game? That's basically the question. When we look at Manchester City, where is the threat actually going to be coming from? Having watched their last couple of games, obviously last week when they won against Manchester United in a Manchester derby, a lot of the runs, and they basically overran and they basically overloaded the midfield when it compares to Manchester United in regards to, you had Rodri there, you had Foden there, you had Doku there, you had Reinders there, and they basically overloaded and high pressed Manchester United in that game and basically won 3-0. And as you know, Haaland obviously got a brace in that goal, and Doku also scored. And that's, I think, those are our threats in regards to that game. When I looked at that game, Foden, Doku, Haaland, and maybe Reinders are the threats in the midfield. And obviously you've got Rodri holding in that midfield for Manchester City. And then when you look at their back defense, I'm not going to lie to you, they do look a little bit shaky. They're not like the team of a couple of seasons ago. I mean, David Silva is still a great player, but it wasn't really, it's not the David Silva of about 4 or 5 years ago. He's coming on a bit now. And also when you look at their defense in terms of, you got Ruben Diaz and obviously the new midfielder, I can't remember his name at the moment, the new centre-back. He's quite young and is still fairly new to the Premier League, and he seems to be struggling a bit. He did play well against Manchester United, but let's be honest, it's Manchester United, no disrespect to them, but they're not really doing well this season so far. But when you're coming up against Arsenal and when you look at the strength in depth at the moment, in terms of our starting lineup, as I said, we're still sort of up in an R in who's going to start in that centre-back pairing. Is it going to be Gabriel and Saliba, or is it going to be Gabriel and Mosquera? Just the thought of that alone, when you think about it, like, the strength in depth is crazy. And for the first time, a lot of Arsenal fans wouldn't mind who starts against Manchester City and pair it up with Gabriel Magalhaes. Because Mosquera, let's be honest, one of the best stills in this summer's transfer window, £13 million. And he came on against Liverpool and it's shown his worth already. He's shown that he's capable, not only backing up to Saliba, but also challenging for that right centre-back position. And that's why I say, if Mosquera do start in this game, are we actually going to be frustrated? Probably not. Are we going to be? And we're literally looking forward to it. And up to me, I won't lie to you, I'll be starting Saliba in this game. So I'll get into my starting lineup at the moment. You know, I'll be going with David Raya in goal. Then Urian Timber starts in right back. Personally, I'll be bringing back Saliba to pair it up with Gabriel. It is a big game, and I think he's more experienced when it comes to this type of fixture, more than Mosquera would basically play. And then obviously on the left back position, you know what? I will be bringing back Miles Lewis-Skelly, considering what he did last season in that game at the Emirates where we won 5-1 against Manchester City. So that'll be my back four. And then in terms of midfield, I'll be going with Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and if Martin Odegaard is able to feature in this game, I'll be playing Martin Odegaard. If not, it's going to have to be Ethan Nwaneri. I don't want to see Marino, but let's be honest. There's a likelihood that Mikel Arteta, he will play Mikel Merino in this fixture if Martin Odegaard is not fit enough to start. Personally, I think that's not the right way to approach this game. It's going to basically look like he's being pragmatic once again, especially when you look at the way we performed against Liverpool. And it was very pragmatic. And playing at home and playing Marino in that number 10 position, in my opinion, won't be a great, tactics in my opinion. And the other option that we potentially have in that number 10 role is playing Eberechi Eze in that number 10 position and potentially then playing either Martinelli or Trossard on that left flank. And then we've got Gyökeres if he's fit enough to start, and then Madueke on the right-hand side. As I said, there are still speculations or there's still question marks over the fact that whether Bukayo Saka, Bukayo Saka, Odegaard and Saliba are going to be able to feature in this game. And when you look at the strength in depth, we got Incampe potentially that can still play in this fixture. You got Calafiori, like I said, you got Mosquera, in that left centre-back position. And also you got, hopefully Ben White will also be back. And when you look at it in that midfield area as well, in terms of backup, you got Christian Noga, you got, like I said, Ethan Nwaneri, Martin Odegaard, Eze can play in there. You got Declan Rice, you got Marino, you got Max Dowman potentially, Madueke, Saka, and you got Gyökeres, and you still got Havertz, Jesus to still come back into this team. So as I said, I still personally believe we've got a stronger depth in squad better than Manchester City, which is the reason why I am going into this game very confident, especially playing at home, having won 4 games out of 5 in all club competition and only conceding 1 goal, and that was from a set piece. We still yet have not conceded a goal from an outside, from open play as of yet, and hopefully let that continue. Make that continue, because I'm enjoying the clean sheets. I'm enjoying not having too much to do in the defense at the moment, and I'm enjoying controlling the game. How are we going to go into this game? I don't know for you, but I do personally hope that Mikel Arteta will actually not be as pragmatic as it was against Liverpool a few weeks back. Go into this game high intensity, high pace, and let's get the win against Manchester City. There are a lot of people talking online and saying basically, do Arsenal have to win this game? to basically prove themselves. And as I said at the beginning of this video, Arsenal have not lost against Manchester City since 2023 when we play them in the Community Shield. So that goes to show we are doing well against this so-called Big Six since then. Up until we lost against Liverpool, we hadn't lost against the Big Six in a few years. So I am quite confident going into this game. I do hope that Mikel Arteta can go into this game and he gets the tactics right, he gets the personnel right, the starting lineup has to be right. In terms of how we start this game will potentially give us an idea of how the game is going to go, and we just have to have our wits about us. Let the guy go out there, let them have fun, let them defend. They enjoy defending. Gabriel Magalhaes enjoys defending, and this is the kind of fixture he loves playing in. So I am predicting an Arsenal win. Although I would love a clean sheet. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet against Erling Haaland. Unfortunately, as I said, last season, this fixture, in terms of, we won 5-1 at home last season, but we also drew 2-2 away at Etihad. So as you can see, no clean sheets in both of those games back to back. So I am going for a 2-1 Arsenal narrow win, if not a 3-1. I don't think it will be the same as a 5-1 as we did last season. But as per usual, let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this game? Who would you start in your starting lineup, and what is your prediction score and predicted starting lineup as per usual? So let me know in the comments below. And also don't forget, I will be doing a live watch along for this particular game, 4:30 p.m. kickoff UK time. Arsenal taking on Manchester City at the Emirates. I will see you there, Gooners. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys on Sunday. Get here.